Across centuries, every culture has gazed upon the veil of the beyond with the same chilling question. What exactly is a ghost? From the pale women wandering Japanese temples to the mournful shades that stalk English moors, the stories always circle the same eerie sentiment. Something once living, still here, somehow trapped in time. Some appear at the edge of our peripheral vision. Others are shadows and mirrors, visions and dreams. Each sighting tells us that maybe death doesn't end a presence, it simply changes its form. But what if these visions are not souls at all? What if there's something entirely different? Something that the earth itself remembers? In the quiet corridors of ancient manors and forgotten asylums, it's said that the walls remember. The stone tape theory suggests that powerful emotional energy, grief, terror, even ecstasy, can etch itself into the very structure of matter. Like grooves on a record, moments of deep intensity are imprinted into stone, wood, or even water, only to replay themselves when the conditions are right. Limestone is said to be very psychically conductive, and around 21% of land surface in the U.S. is underlain by limestone and dolomite, another carbonate rock. These fairly common rocks, often just beneath our feet, could possibly be storing energy or something more, according to this paranormal theory. For example, take the famously eerie tales from the battlefields of Gettysburg. Many visitors and reenactors report hearing phantom gunfire, marching, or seeing ghostly soldiers repeating battle movements. Video clips and eyewitness accounts speak of the sight of a spectral army marching across the old battlefields, an eerie faint glow of the soldiers gleaming under the moonlight. Or many say that they have seen these weary figures. These experiences often happen in specific, unchanging patterns, suggesting to some that the immense trauma of the battle was psychically imprinted onto the land itself. A massive psychic recording, if you will, replaying under the right environmental and emotional triggers. A storm, a shift in temperature, or a resonant vibration might bring forth the echo, a fleeting replay of the past, shimmering like a mirage of memory. In this vision, ghosts aren't wandering souls, but psychic imprints, emotional data loops repeating endlessly, where the veil between time and place has grown thin. It's as if many of the hauntings that these people witness are not spirits calling out, but the world itself remembering. Physics holds yet another theory involving time itself, that this dimension of flowing change that we know as time is actually bleeding. Modern physics tells us time is not a straight line, but a tangled web of probabilities. And some theorists suggest that certain hauntings are temporal overlaps, where intense past events momentarily pierce the present. A ghost, then, could be the past leaking through, a ripple in space-time rather than a lost soul seeking peace. Perhaps in places where history drips with emotion, abandoned towns, prisons, old churches, the boundaries of chronology wear thin. When that happens, the living may momentarily see a fragment of another now, flickering at the edge of perception. These phantoms aren't dead. They're simply elsewhere in time, unaware that we, the observers, are the ghosts to them. Science and physics may never be able to uncover the true modalities of the ghost realm, and it may always remain elusive and spiritual. In Tibetan mysticism, there's the concept of the tulpa, a being created purely by thought and belief. It begins as imagination, but through collective attention and emotion, it gains form. personality, and sometimes autonomy. Could the ghosts that we fear be our own creations, born from shared human belief? Like thought forms given bodies, they wander the plains of the earth, a cursed existence birthed from the womb of our unconscious disturbances. In one aspect, yes, I believe in ghosts, but we create them. We haunt ourselves. In this idea, every candlelit seance, every whispered legend feeds these thought forms, and over time, belief might coalesce into being, forming an energetic entity that behaves like the thing that we imagined. If this is true, then we are the authors of our hauntings, and the ghosts that terrify us are the mirror of our own unspoken desires and fears. One need not be a chamber to be haunted. But what if we aren't the source of these phenomena? Sometimes these apparitions take on an energy that feels truly otherworldly and are connected to some of the most terrifying psychological anomalies that occur. The shadow person phenomenon, dark silhouettes glimpsed in the corner of one's vision, is one of the most unsettling forms of haunting. Some say these are interdimensional beings whose vibrational frequency barely overlaps with ours. We see them not as they truly are, but as distortions, outlines caught in translation between worlds. Others suggest that they are entities feeding on human emotion, drawn to fear, despair, or grief, like moths to the flame. Whatever their nature, shadow beings embody the idea that the boundary between worlds is porous, and that there may be watchers dwelling just beyond the visible spectrum of light, peering in. And if you haven't seen my video on the Hat Man or Shadow Man, click here. But I think the odds of these beings, these things that we see, actually being the souls of human beings that are trapped on the earth is very low. I think there's an element of deception to these phenomena. We should also take great care in figuring out exactly what the human soul is. I believe we are the seed of a much greater potential, a greater being, and we can reach that if God allows it. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. Check out some of my other work here on ghost stories, hauntings, the paranormal. I've got more coming on strange psychology, mythology, stories, and just the great mystery. So I will talk to you all very, very soon.